Have you ever been ripped off or scammed by a contractor or a service company, grossly overpaid for a service, or bought something for double or triple the price it's actually worth? If you could share your life experiences and lessons learned with the rest of us in the comments below, that would be totally awesome of you. I've been asked many times to make a video on this topic, how to find a good company or a contractor to do a job or a repair for you without getting scammed or paying way too much. Because usually when we're talking about getting ripped off, it's not just hundreds, it's thousands of dollars. So I sat down and I put together a list of 7 things a homeowner can do themselves to drastically minimize their chances of being ripped off. And just a disclaimer, I repair appliances and heating and air conditioning equipment, so I'll be talking more from that perspective background. Number 1, knowledge is power. Before calling out a company or a contractor to do a job or a repair for you, try to find out as much as you can about that subject. Try to figure out what is actually wrong or broken. For example, if your air conditioner breaks and it's not cooling the house anymore, is it likely that the fan motor is bad? Perhaps something is wrong with the thermostat, or maybe the dog chewed some wires? Oftentimes, by doing just this, you may discover that the problem is actually really easy to fix and you actually don't need to call anybody out at all. Number 2, know exactly what you want done. It's a lot more effective to say, I believe my fan motor is burnt out, so I would like you to check and replace it. Then say something like, I have no idea what's wrong, why don't you just go in, take a look, and do your thing. Being clueless about the work that needs to be done opens the door for the contractor to add on a bunch of upsells and unneeded repairs. However, if they perceive that you have an understanding of what's going on, they are a lot less likely to try to sell you anything else, and they will do only what needs to be done and no more. Another good example is painting. If you want to paint your house, before you call somebody out, know exactly what you want. Know what colors you want, know what kind of paint, know what style, how many coats, etc., etc. The more specific you are, the better it is for you and the contractor that you're hiring. Number 3, go with a family-owned business. It's almost guaranteed that a company that you see on a billboard, a TV advertisement, or some other online marketing are going to charge you a premium price. And that doesn't always mean premium work and premium quality. And it's very likely that their employees are highly incentivized to sell you as much as possible for the biggest dollar amount possible. So if the fan motor is bad on your air conditioner, optimally, it's best if you get a new air conditioner. So personally, I prefer to go to the small shops that just have a few employees. Their prices are more likely to be fair, and they're a lot less likely to try to upsell you anything, and they're just gonna do what needs to be done to get whatever it is fixed. Of course, there are bad small businesses too, but your chances of getting a fair deal are a little bit higher. One thing that I learned throughout the years though, is that good people don't need advertising. Just word of mouth alone usually keeps them plenty busy. Number 4, find out average prices. You can get some average prices by digging around online, but usually the best way to do this is to actually have somebody come out and give you a quote, and then get a second opinion and a third opinion. Usually, it's best not to go with the first person that comes in. It's good to see what your options are. That being said, if you like the contractor that is the most expensive out of all the ones that you called, don't be afraid to ask. Ask them, why is your price higher than these people? Maybe they have a good reason for raising their prices higher. Perhaps they noticed something that the other guys didn't notice. And while you're talking about this, there is a chance that they'll be willing to lower their price. Now, if your project is expensive, let's say it's over $10,000, then if possible, I would get at least 5 quotes. And I'm sure that you're gonna see the prices vary drastically from quote to quote. Number 5, settle on the price up front. I know this is not always possible, but if you can, settle on the price on paper, documented, before any work is done. That way, you will know for sure that at the end of the job, you will owe X amount. If you don't agree on the price ahead of time, then there's a good chance that at the end of the job, the bill will be higher than what was verbally quoted. Let them know that if the situations do arise that require the bill to be increased, they should inform you first and get your consent before going ahead with the extra work, which will increase your bill. Also, never pay the full amount up front before any of the work is done. A deposit of some sort is okay, but not the entire amount. You will pay the complete sum at the successful completion of the job. Number 6, contracts. This is vital if you're doing a big project that will take some time to complete. Once again, be as specific as possible what you want, how you want it done, and when you want it done. Have schedules, timelines, milestones, start dates, due dates, everything you can think of. If you've never drafted a contract before, luckily there's plenty of resources online of example contracts that you can look up, and I would highly recommend that you do look them up and look through them, and you're probably going to learn a lot. Number 7, referrals. Referrals from people you know are a great way to find good companies or contractors, but make sure that John, who built your neighbor's deck, did so recently and not 10 years ago. You want the jobs that you're getting the referrals for to be recent, within the last couple of years. The more recent, the better, because times change and people change, and sometimes not in a good way. If no one you know has any referrals for you, you could also try asking your community. A lot of cities will actually have their own community pages on Facebook or Instagram where anybody can post pretty much anything they want, including referrals, like if somebody did a good job and they just say, hey, this guy painted my house wonderfully. If you're looking for a painter, look him up. Or you can also ask a question. Hey, I'm looking for somebody to build my deck. Does anybody have any suggestions? A great website for this is nextdoor.com, which is basically an online community forum for individual cities. My wife has their phone app and she loves it. There, you can search for or ask for referrals from people who live in your particular city, which is pretty cool. But of course, just because somebody referred them doesn't mean that they're actually good. Maybe they're just referring their friend or their brother. This is just another way to increase your chances of finding somebody good. And if this someone is actually a company, then you can also look up the online reviews for that particular company. Those can be helpful too. Although, there are fake reviews too. What a hairy situation. But anyway, in summary, if you do all the 7 things I listed, your chances of getting ripped off will drastically decrease. If you have any other tips that I missed, please let us know in the comments below. And the last one, an honorable mention if you will, is to not go strictly by the looks. I mean, if someone is trying to scam you, it's only logical to think that they will look as good as possible, they're going to be as polite as possible, and try to convince you that they're super professional. Anything they can do to help you not doubt them. On the flip side though, I know some absolute masters in their field that look like they're homeless, they can sometimes be rude, and professionalism is not anywhere near the top of their priorities. That's just some food for thought. Anyway, I would love to see you with all your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. Let me share a piece of trivia with you that I learned just recently. I just found out that there's nobody in the world that can swallow 5 times in a row. So you close your mouth and then try swallowing consecutively. So most people can only do it 3 times. It's very, very rare that somebody can do it 4 times, and it's impossible that somebody can do it 5 times. Try it and then go and challenge somebody else to do it too. It's pretty impressive. Oh, I just got a text message. My friend says that he accidentally drank some invisible ink. He's now at the hospital, waiting to be seen.